All right. This beautiful mask was made using a pattern that a nurse put up on Instructables, the AB mask pattern. And to make the pleating jig, you're going to need a pattern that's been cut and a cereal box or cardstock of some sort. I have a Sharpie and some sort of ruler. I have a sewing ruler. You can really use whatever you like. This cutting mat is not necessary. I'm just using it as a backdrop. The first thing you'll do is you'll take your cereal box and trace the pattern onto the box. So all I did to get this shape was to trace here, and then this is the mirror image, so it's symmetrical, and then I traced along this side and cut out. I actually used a rotary cutter to cut mine so it had a nice clean edge, but you can also use scissors. I'll show you how I got that clean edge really quickly. Once it was traced, I just laid this alongside and cut with my rotary cutter to get that nice clean edge for appearance sake, really. The next step is you'll take the pattern, which has marks for the pleats, and I scooted it out a little bit from the edge so I could mark where I needed to make my lines. Really easy, so I just put a dot along each of those triangles. All right, you're actually going to do the same thing from the other side. So the easiest way I found to do this was not to turn it over, but to just lay it next to, like that. And then again, dot. And the next step is to take your ruler and line it up so it goes from one dot to the other, like this, and then I have to cross because I'm right-handed, and I just draw a line. And you'll do that for each of the 6 dots you've created. When I made mine, I didn't draw a line all the way across, and it was very difficult to get that bend straight. So I'd recommend drawing it all the way across the mask pattern and not assuming you'll be able to fold a straight line. So I'm just going to continue. Okay. I should have mentioned before, this piece of cardboard I'm using does have a fold in it. That's not ideal. The pleating jig I've actually been using did not have a fold. This one does. You'll see why that might be a problem in a little bit. And you just go one last one. These pleats, I believe, are 1/4 inch, it says in the pattern. And then they should all lay, when the fabric is done, side by side, so your sewing machine doesn't ever have to go over more than 2 layers at a time. Okay, so now all you do is you take your ruler, line it up, and then you'll just crease it like that, and then you take it the opposite way, you have to estimate a little bit, you'll find your line. Yep, I was pretty close. And fold it the other way. And now what you have is 2 creases that, if you smush it all the way down now, will be like a pleat that'll take place in your sewing. You can take some kind of tool and apply some pressure to get a very clean fold. And then I'll just continue doing that. So the first fold goes up toward the point, and the second fold goes the opposite way. And see, you can see why this fold from the box that I'm using will be a problem, because it's going to be so close to the fold I need to make. I'm afraid it'll interfere a little bit. So this one as best I can. I'm going to try to, I'm fighting that fold. All right, now I'm not going to be able to win, I don't think. You'll take it and squish it flat again, like that. And then you'll do the same thing for the last to get a pleating jig like this. Now to use the pleating jig, we'll continue the video at my ironing board, and all you need is a piece of pre-cut fabric and a hot iron.